hunting offers access to some weird and wonderful places. For Tim, that place is on the west coast of Scotland on the northern coast of the Ardnamurchan Peninsula, and he's got a beautiful beach all to himself.
Anybody that's watching this and saw the Eden Project on television, they'll know that you should be able to survive there for a year because they did.
West Highland hunting allows stalkers to hunt particular grounds unguided if they have a deer stalking certificate level 2 and show they are a competent shot. Tim went solo last year with Robbie Rowntree. This time brother Neil has organised 2 outings for us on hinds and calves, but we certainly didn't expect a trip to the beach, and not just any beach.
That's slightly worrying.
The area is commercial timber, as you can see. It's coming to its felling stage, and what we're looking to do there this year is to kick off and start shooting a few hinds. It's an interesting piece of ground. It's a sandy, white sandy beach, stunning location. The deer are very mobile in the area, particularly when the tide falls back. You'll get them right down on the shoreline eating seaweed, and when the tide's in like it is this morning, you'll get them grazing on the grassland tight on the edge of the forest line.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is set you off down the forest edge along the shore. Only task, make sure if you're shooting an adult female that any dependent young cub will be with her. And bear in mind that when the tide falls back, we've got a very small window to get them out. If you don't get them out, then you're swimming out. Okay. Other than that, have a lot of fun. Great spot, a lot of history attached to it. It was used extensively for commando training and for military training before the last war. And you'll see when you get to the beach why they used that beachhead for training.
Okay.
If you do see anything sticking out of the sand, it could be ordnance. There are still the odd Mills bomb, mortars and other sweet things popping out the sand from time to time.
Okay.
So I wouldn't A, shoot it, or B, stamp it.
The concept of going in blind into a property stalking is probably the ultimate challenge in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you know the land, you'd roughly know where it is, but we haven't got a clue. It's great to be able to have the opportunity to do it. So, yes.
One of the things I think comes out of this, I spent quite a lot of my career with the Forestry Commission, and we know these days that people are increasingly relying on shooting deer out of season and relying on shooting deer at night. And I think there's a huge role for guys like yourselves in forests like this to actually go and you could say cull deer by fair chase.
Yeah.
And I think it's a healthy practice. It produces healthy meat, and at the same time it reduces the burden on the taxpayer.
Once again, Rucksack and Rifle is taking me to slightly unusual destinations, and this is completely unique. And as I said earlier on, the history involved with this site with regards to the D-Day landings, World War II, they trained the SE, the Special Operations Executive here. There's so much going on here, but to actually maybe hunt red deer next to sand dunes is absolutely amazing.
There are some benefits to stalking on the beach. The breaking waves disguise noise, but the wind direction is a pain, and the way we've had to come in could clear the beach of animals. We need to stay in the cover, but you can't help being drawn to the sand just for the novelty factor. Tim experienced something similar in Argentina.
I normally go to really hot climates to enjoy myself on the sand. This is amazing. It's interesting that in August I was actually stalking axis deer in Argentina on sand dunes in the middle of the country with palm trees. 4 months later, I'm in Scotland stalking red deer on sand dunes. It's so unique. Just look at it. Heading out east that way is just staggering. But you know, to have red deer here, it's fascinating. So what we're going to do is just try to find them. There's a lot of evidence as we walk through the top here. There's a lot of evidence actually of deer here. A lot of very, very fresh kind of pellets out there. So hopefully we'll get close. But I think at the moment we've got to kind of work our way over the top and look down onto them. So pretty exciting actually. And it's lovely weather. No gloves, so it's perfect conditions. The problem we've got is a wind kind of quartering from behind us to over there. So I'm not very happy about that, so we've just got to be very, very mindful of that. So hopefully we have to spot the deer first before they actually scent us. Anyway, Let's crack on.
There are definitely deer here. The slots give that away. Maybe they've gone for a dip.
There's been quite a few deer go through here. You see across the sands there, they've been working their way across out to that far knoll, I suppose. So obviously they're about. Good sign.
Typical beach cuisine would be ice cream or a sand-encrusted fish paste sandwich. However, Tim decides to try kelp for the first and last time.
So this is what the deer are going for. They love the old seaweed and kelp. Does taste very nice. No, it doesn't. Ooh.
We work steadily along the coastline, coves and rocks giving us cover. Then Tim returns looking like he's just been given a Mr. Whippy 99 with 2 flakes. For international viewers, that's the king of ice creams.
We've got ourselves some deer. Wow. I was just scanning, glassing everywhere. And the same old thing is like, they're there. Quite embarrassing really, but that's what happens. You're thinking that they could be anywhere. Just scanning around and suddenly completely miss them. I think there's two youngsters down there, so I don't know what sex they are yet. Anyway, so I've got ourselves a beast to look at. So it's really exciting. Probably at a guesstimate 200 metres away, but we'll have a look and see what we think anyway. Okay, this moved. The highs and lows of hunting. Oh, it's so frustrating. We bellied all the way around the old knoll here, 165 metres away. Look, everything looked absolutely fine, setting up for the shot. A lot of wind coming down the valley there. And for some reason, it just looked up, didn't look at us, and just went straight across the side into the wood. I think what's happened here is the wind is actually going from there all the way around to there. Whether it just threw our scent across the valley there, but we did everything right. I was really getting quite excited on this one because it looks like a reasonably simple shot as well. Anyway, so we've drawn a blank, so we'll keep on going over the other side of that nollie there and see what else is there, but I think we'll probably have a bar of chocolate for about 15 minutes to see if this youngster, I think it was a young calf actually, so there's probably a hind near it somewhere. I'd rather hope it may just drift back out again, because the way it just jumped up and I thought, ouch, I'm on my own here, I'm away from my mum, and just went straight across there. So just wait up for a few minutes, if not we head on, but so close. But that's why we hunt. You never know what's around the corner, and it's never prescribed, it's there, and sometimes it's not. So it wasn't meant to be, but we've got another hour yet before we head back to Glasgow, so I'm rather hoping we have another opportunity.
Sadly, like all delicious ice creams, the deer disappear, leaving us with just a beautiful view of where they once stood. Before we head back, Tim talks us through his very cute Hakila rucksack.
I don't know, it was probably maybe 20 litres maximum, if that. This one's made out of melton wool, so it's very quiet. But I've been using it quite a bit for the last 6 months. It's got a few little pockets as I normally have, but what I really like about it is the ability to carry the rifle in the back. And also the actual rifle is very close to my back, so it doesn't wobble around too much. And I've been rather impressed with it actually. There's enough provisions there for maybe for a day, mooching around the hill, lots of little pockets everywhere else, and just the rifle itself falls into it. And off I go, walking with it. So it does work very well actually, so yeah. We've been walking all day and they turn up in a flipping vehicle like that. And I bet they got loads of deer in the back of it just to make us feel even worse.
While we have been beachcombing, Neil and Stevie have been busy stalking the rest of the forest and have had a bit more success. But they have been here before, of course.
Just 30 seconds more and we've got it. But that's where it goes.
My fault then.
Yeah, your fault. It's always,
As always,
always waiting for the camera, and there's a common denominator here.
Yes. David Wright, the conservationist. Did you hear him muttering under his breath? Run away,
Yeah,
run away.
please. Wasn't successful today, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, we saw a beast. I think nature took its way, and it went off. So that's hunting for you. But what a way to finish! Beautiful sand dunes here. A bit of history as well, going back to World War II, but if you want to have some adventurous stalking, come to the western coast of Scotland because you can't beat it.
What a weird and wonderful stalking experience, and if you fancy the chance of doing something like this, contact West Highland Hunting for more information. For more about the Steyr Mannlichers, go to steyerarms.com. For the Harkeeler kit and clothing, go to harkeeler.com. And for more about kite optics, go to kiteoptics.com.